Your perception is your reality. How you think is going to determine how you feel. And how you feel is going to directly correlate to how you act. The choices you make, things you do, people you associate with, it all adds up and creates your overall perception of yourself and ultimately the reality that you are creating for yourself. So what is your perception? How do you think? Like, how do you feel about yourself? Like, really take a moment and assess. Run that internal audit about you, life, this fascinating existence, God, everything. Because it's all connected. You know, we can either see it one of two ways. And again, it always comes down to our internal state of being, where we are generally operating from. Like, what is our normal default baseline? And again, there's always going to be ebbs and flows, highs and lows to life, but one is always going to be our default setting. Most of us are operating from our sympathetic nervous system, stuck in fight or flight response all day. So are you playing the victim card? Is life always conspiring against you? Things aren't fair. I'm always exhausted, burnt out, stressed. Does that sound familiar? For most, it probably does. Again, that's stuck paddling upstream, fight or flight response all day. It's exhausting. You can also put in the work necessary to downregulate your nervous system and operate from a parasympathetic state of being, a powerful state of being. This is accompanied with joy, gratitude, fulfillment, positivity, happiness, all the emotions that we want from life, you know? And that's the thing is that, like, when we think about external things, I'm gonna get the job or get the car or get the girlfriend or, you know, whatever it may be. We think that those are the things that we want, but when in fact what we really want is that feeling. The feeling that those things provide. That's what we're truly chasing. It's not external. It's internal. It's our perception, the way that we feel. And when we can downregulate our nervous system and change our default setting to be one of powerful, parasympathetic, then life becomes great. We start to realize that, yeah, there is no victim card here. Things aren't just happening to me. No, things happen for me. This is happening for a reason. I got myself in this situation by the decisions that I've made. My job is to figure out the why. How and why did I get here? What does it all mean? And how can I use this situation, this experience, to propel me forward on my journey to become the better version of myself? That's the game. But the thing is that one is a given. Your fight or flight response, playing the victim card, pointing fingers, looking outward, making excuses, that's the given. That's easy. Everyone can do that. And that's ultimately, again, that is the biologically ingrained default response that most people are just privy to, used to. Because that's what it is. It's engineered in us. This negative default disposition towards life and towards everything. But what is earned is the powerful state of being. What is earned is the powerful mindset, the powerful, positive perception on the reality that we get to create for ourselves. It's earned because it takes work. It takes effort. It takes time and energy and consistency. Because we've went through, however old you are, it's arbitrary and it realistically doesn't matter. Once you reach a certain age, you know, our minds are, these default responses are embedded into us through the conformity that we've experienced up to a certain point. And it's usually around the age of, like, I think 37 is like you've experienced every emotional state of being within life. And if you haven't put in the work necessary to reprogram your mind, you've experienced so much negativity and so much toxicity from societal limiting beliefs, from the proximity of all the negative people and negative shit that is permeating out there, that it's embedded into us. And it also, the fight or flight response, again, is biologically ingrained due to human evolution. It's all this negative fight or flight response that we have to reconfigure, recalibrate. It's neuroscience, guys. Like that's what it's. You know, one thing that everyone should get addicted to is how the mind works. Like, what is going on up here? And if you haven't tapped into that, if you haven't taken a moment and like looked into neuroscience and like how powerful this thing is, do so. It will change your life. It will open doors to this fascinating universe and the connectivity of all of this that is going on. But for some reason, we negate that. This thing up here is, it's hard to put in words because words don't do it justice. Words are designed for limitation, for lack of a better term, because you can't put words on things that are indescribable, if that makes sense. And if you know what I mean. But for most of us, it probably sounds gibberish, for lack of a better term. But the reality is that's the world that we're in, and that's how powerful this mind is. It's limitless, guys. We're capable of doing anything. But for you to have that sort of perception takes work. It takes effort and proving to yourself that you are that dog, that you're a fucking lion and you're not a sheep. You go to the beat of your own drum and you create every day the life that you want. It's the difference between manufacturing dopamine every day, controlling the controllables, focusing on the virtues in life, the things that serve you well and add value to your inner being, or consuming dopamine, sitting there looking at our screens anytime that internal dialogue kicks in, that anxiousness and anxiety, that anxiousness and apprehensions that we have of, like, you know, this knowingness that we're selling ourselves short until we actually don't. We all deal with it. We all have that inner dialogue, that subconscious feeling inside of us that something is missing. What's missing is you and the effort that you're putting forth every day. And the perception that you have of yourself in this world and this existence, because you haven't unveiled what is really going on here. And when you walk through that door, when you pull that curtain back and see how beautiful life truly is, you are not going back. everything changes. But then you also have to realize that nothing changes if nothing changes. You got it in you. We all do. We all are amazing, unique, authentic human beings that are limitless. But we have to manufacture that perception, that belief in ourselves, by doing the inner work to spark that fire and ride this amazing wave of life. No breaks, guys. Click like, subscribe, enjoy the ride.